again.
What? What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 45 of the Screen Team Podcast. My name is Gus.
I'm Sal.
And I'm Alex.
And today we are going to be talking about Dune and The Last Duel.
Yep.
We're going to start with The Last Duel. Alex is going to start it off.
Yes.
With his 3 likes and dislikes, if you
Yes.
even did 3.
I just want to start off by saying that I really liked The Last Duel, directed by Ridley Scott. He was had some really big stars in there. Some of the stars had small roles, but it was pretty good. Let's talk about my likes. So I like that it was very gory and violent. I don't know why, but I really like movies that are very gory and violent. And I'm starting to realize that as we're doing all these movie reviews. There's just something about like the difference between a PG-13 movie and a rated R movie that just elevates it for me. I don't know why. Is that weird? Well, it might be, but
I'm a little concerned. But
yeah. So like all the action scenes were just amazing to me. Like had some big battle scenes. The duel that they have at the end was awesome. It just felt like they didn't hold back. It gave me like a Gladiator, Braveheart kind of vibe.
I disagree. What are you talking
with
about?
those-
Are we allowed to talk? I disagree. There's not. I didn't feel like this movie was an action movie. You're making it sound like it was an action movie.
It wasn't.
It wasn't like Gladiator. Gladiator is almost an action movie.
No, but it had a lot of action. But it had really big action scenes. It had really cool action scenes that were badass. That were up to par with some Gladiator scenes, especially the opening scene, especially the duel at the end. Like that's.
There was two scenes.
No, there was more. There was more.
There's a couple.
There was a lot. Yeah, they fight a lot.
I don't even remember that.
Anyway, wow, really? So, and then the my second like is the storytelling. So like the structure of the movie, it was divided into 3 chapters. You get the perspective of the husband, which is Matt Damon's character. Then you get the perspective of Adam Driver's character, and then finally you get the perspective of the female character. What's her name? I forgot her name. The actress.
I don't know.
I don't know. They main character.
So I love how they did the storytelling in this movie. And then my final like is how they kind of tricked me. They really like the director just kind of threw me for a loop. Like you going into this movie, you think it's a movie about these 2 guys fighting for like this woman's honor or like.
Wait, what? You didn't know what the movie was about before you saw it?
No, not really.
I didn't know either, really, but I've seen the trailer, and I think you have too, because you were excited to watch it.
I think I saw part of the trailer.
And from the trailer, I think I got that.
Like, I saw posts, I saw billboards, I saw like Instagram posts, like, but I would skim the trailer and I would just skip it. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna watch it anyway. I don't wanna kill it.
But
so
they like in every trailer they have like a key scene where I don't remember what they say. Obviously, they don't use the R word.
I thought it was gonna be.
They say things where like it implies it heavily.
I thought it was gonna be them fighting for her love before going into the movie. I thought it was gonna be something completely different than it was. So I like that it set it up to where, you have God, this movie's just I fucking love this movie. You have Matt Damon's character's perspective, and you feel like he's fighting for her honor, right? You feel like he's going and he's fighting for. He's gonna go to this last duel and he's trying to fight for his wife. Then you get the other guy's perspective and you feel like he's in love with her and they have like a romance going on and like it's all flirty. And then they hit you with her perspective and you realize really the main character of this movie is the female. And with the first 2 chapters, you think Matt Damon's the main character or even Adam Driver?
I disagree with you again. The first because with the first section with Matt Damon's section. She already confessed to him that she was raped by him.
Yes.
So it wasn't like, oh, you find out to the last scene like, oh, this is what happened. Like,
yeah, but you don't know what happened. You don't know what happened until the end, until they show her chapter.
That's not true. I don't think so either. Well, no, because again, they explain what happens in the first part really with Matt Damon, because she says, right?
Yeah.
So that's really like the movie. That's the movie right there. Like her saying this.
Yes,
and then,
but you don't know if she got raped.
No, you don't know. But I think Adam Driver's. I think
it was evident.
That was
Adam
pretty obvious to me.
No,
Adam Driver.
Yeah, even when he had the discussion with Ben Affleck, he's like,
oh, they throw their protests or whatever. Every woman throws their protests, and like what woman? Like, do I really need to do that to
he knows he did. Yeah. From it's his perspective.
From his perspective,
but he knows he did.
From his perspective, it's like I think the director was trying to throw us off. Like she does certain things where like she's kind of leading him to the bedroom. She takes off her own shoes when she goes up to the bedroom. she opens the door. Like it's completely different when they show her perspective, where she like stumbles up the stairs and like her shoes fall off. Like they show you key different things. Like the way she protests is completely different when they show her perspective, where she's like yelling and screaming. When they're showing Adam Driver's perspective, she's like saying no. Which is kind of similar like to an earlier scene where Adam Driver they got like 2 orgies in this movie, by the way. Like the first orgy when he's carrying a girl and she's kind of like yelling, which I thought was weird. I'm like, why is this girl yelling and saying no? Like, and I kind of figured that the director tried to set that up to show you how like this woman is protesting, but then like he still has sex with her. And then when he gets to his perspective, it's kind of similar in how she's protesting. It's kind of like he sees it like a playful, like, oh, she's just saying no or whatever. But you don't really like, it's not confirmed. It's still, the director tried to throw you off to try to make it seem like, especially by showing her flirt with Adam Driver, like throwing comments about his looks with Adam Driver. Like you don't know for sure. It's not confirmed. And I think it was just good storytelling. It's just good storytelling. And then when you get to the end, it's like, okay, for sure it's a rape. For sure it's a rape. And then you find out that Matt Damon's character is just an asshole too, about how he's been treating her like property, right? So it tricked me. It tricked me because I thought, like, in the opening scene, you have these 2 guys fighting for a woman. I thought it was gonna be like a fight about honor, a fight about their protesting their love for her, right? And it completely wasn't. It was a story about essentially how this woman got treated, back in 1300s London. So it was, I like that. I like that. It tricked me, threw me off. I was like, holy shit, this is a completely different movie than I thought it was gonna be. My dislikes. There was a couple times I got a little silly, maybe a little too far, but not too much. So like, there was one scene where she greets the husband when he comes back, and like she's showing her boobs a little bit, and he like gets all pissed off and he throws her inside and like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing out there? I was like, okay, yeah, I get what they're trying to do there, but I think it was just a little silly.
Wait, what scene?
Where she comes out to like greet the wife.
Oh.
To greet the husband, and like her boobs are kind of showing. Like she opens her robe and like her boobs are showing a little bit, like her cleavage is showing, and he gets pissed off and like throws her inside and starts yelling at her.
Well, you don't like that scene?
It was just a little bit like I understand what they're trying to do, but they were already treating her like shit before that. I don't know if that little scene was necessarily. It was just silly. It was kind of like, okay, yeah, like I get it, but not really. Okay. And then it pushed limits. It pushed my limits. Like it got really close to the limit. Like those rape scenes were really, really bad. Specifically the scene where those 2 people, the couple, walked out of the theater, where after she got raped and she's confessing when it's showing her perspective, she got raped and she's showing Damon, she's talking to Matt Damon, and Matt Damon's like, okay, get over here, like we're still gonna have sex. Fuck, that hurt. That really hurt. But it was necessary. It was definitely necessary for the story, but it was pretty close to my limits. And then I didn't really like how it was in Old English, but it wasn't that bad. It wasn't too bad. Like movies that try to go like the Old English route, I get it because that's how they used to talk back then. But it kind of throws me off because some of the conversations they have I don't really understand. So.
It's weird because they were supposed to be in Paris, or not Paris, in France.
Yeah.
So it wasn't even supposed to be English, I guess.
Yes, exactly.
We don't understand French though.
I know, but like, why if it's gonna be French, like
Put
Old English, if that's.
But it wasn't too
to
bad.
make it feel like
exactly.
Yeah.
But have you guys seen The Witch? The
yeah.
Witch? Like that's way too much Old English. Like I don't understand half the stuff they're saying. So I'm glad they didn't go that route.
I didn't put any of that likes or dislikes. I almost thought about disliking it, but the thing with Old English for me, it's like, oh, it's really hard. Like the first 10 minutes, 15, 20 minutes.
Then you kind of get it.
And then you guys super used to it and just like, oh, you just can't forget about it.
Yeah. That's
so.
I honestly didn't even think about it.
Gus, we understand you're like the smartest person.
Oh my god.
All right, go.
Anyways,
go,
okay.
Sal.
All right, is it my turn?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Have you ever seen the Skibeles? Never mind. You can stop right now. It's my turn. Okay, I guess I'll start my likes. I liked the acting duel back and forth between Matt Damon and Adam Driver. I feel like those 2, even though the girls, I think they're all the main characters. Yeah. Really, it's really divided between I mean, she's the other 2 are kind of like assholes, they're villains, but they're still the main characters.
Yeah.
So I still think Adam Driver and Matt Damon kind of more than any other two people kind of made this movie more than anybody else.
They had the most screen time too, for sure. So
Yeah, well, yeah, the girl had, it felt like they had the most also because they had the first two parts, and
Like
she
back to
had the
back,
last
yeah.
part. So it felt like, I don't know, maybe she had I don't know, maybe they did. So it was that. The second thing I liked was that because it was a movie, like I said, like, oh, Adam Driver's really like the villain, but I like that they also made Matt Damon kind of the villain, like that he was also kind of an asshole. Like it's not just this one guy, like it's it's like a lot of guys, like they're just take advantage of, because when we're proper, like quote unquote property to them.
She couldn't even
So
go to court.
it wasn't Adam Driver was not the problem. Almost it was almost all men at the time were the problem, which is I think what the movie was trying to say. The other thing I liked, which is not to be confused with something else I'm going to say about my dislikes, is that I like that they had different perspectives. So I like that they showed his perspective, or Matt Damon's perspective, Adam Driver's, and the girl's perspective. So I like that. My 3 dislikes, I didn't like, and again, different from perspective, I didn't like that it was 3 different, it was just repeated 3 times. It was the same story, repeated 3 different times from like slightly different angles on some scenes.
Yeah.
I just felt like I was watching the same. I just felt like I saw a movie 3 times over. Like I was like, what? I didn't like that too much. It kind of made the movie drag. And which kind of goes into my other, well, my other 2 dislikes are kind of all connected to with the same idea. My other dislike was that it was too long, which probably has to do also with because you're telling the same story 3 different times and a little differently. And sometimes I like that. Most, again, for the most part, I didn't like it. And the last thing I didn't like was, again, with the rape scene, because, and again, connected, they showed it twice. Why did they have to show it twice? I understand, like, okay, they show different perspectives of it, but Adam Driver's was still rape. It was still clearly, it wasn't enough. Like, I understand there was, like, some little things where, like, it kind of made it seem like, okay, maybe she wanted it. But no, overall, like, she didn't. Like, it was still pretty clear that it was. So I'm not sure why they had to do it twice again.
I would definitely disagree with that. I would say I think it was necessary for sure. I think it was necessary because even after the first rape scene, I didn't know which way they were gonna go.
Like if
when they were gonna show her perspective, I wasn't sure if they were gonna go.
I think
like she was into it or she wasn't into it. Like,
but
it was still like a toss up.
But I don't think I got that from Adam Driver's scene. It was pretty. If they would have done like, oh, like maybe she kind of was flirtatious, and then they cut off like like when they closed the door and like they didn't show the rape scene, and like, oh, we don't know what happens next. Like, oh, like maybe she was like super into like maybe it wasn't. And then they showed her scene.
They even switched the dialogue. Like they changed the dialogue.
I know this. I saw the movie. I know they changed a lot of things, but no, bro, that second one was still a rape. Like it was pretty clear.
The first one wasn't ambiguous enough.
It wasn't. Yeah, and I understand it was trying to be ambiguous, but it wasn't ambiguous enough. Is what I guess. Yeah, which is true. With
like I still like the way I viewed it. I didn't see it as like consensual. Like
I didn't. Yeah.
It
like they didn't make it. Yeah, they didn't make it seem consensual.
What they tried to do was to show like in the earlier part where they were having that orgy with that other girl.
Yeah.
Like they were trying to like make it similar, but it still didn't come off that way. Because that was like a party scene. It was still like everyone there was like kind of like enjoying like what was going on.
Didn't even connect.
And then later on, it's just like she's like trying to get away from him. Like she even
kind of. But remember, she takes off her shoes. She takes off her shoes.
Yeah,
taking her shoes. It's like little things like that the director put in there.
See that didn't like read to me as like okay, she's like inviting him to follow her or anything. Like she's still trying to get away from him.
Yeah.
And like I don't know, like it didn't ever come off to me as like something that she wanted. Because every time that they ever like talked about him, she would be like, "Oh, he's handsome, but like I don't like, you know, like I'm not like interested in him or anything like that."
I understand I understand that they're trying to make it ambiguous. It wasn't ambiguous enough. Yeah. Like there was too many things. Yeah, there was little things like her taking off her shoes, sure, but there's too much of the other stuff, and I can't remember. I'm going off my memory of when I saw the film. It was clear to me like, oh no, that's still rape. Like like they should have maybe like I said, maybe cut off before it happened, like close the door and like, oh, we don't know, like, oh,
Yeah.
something else happened, we don't know, and then show her story. Because I wasn't shocked, but like when it happened, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
If anything, it was so in the kind of not ambiguous enough that I thought maybe it was a possibility, and I don't know if this is what they're trying to do, that maybe her scene it was gonna be more oh, she did enjoy it, like
That's
like-
why. That's
like-
why I
like-
thought. That's why to me
like
it,
maybe
it worked.
maybe she did, like I didn't know which way it was gonna go, because,
That's-
but I thought it was more Adam Driver's scene story was definitely more leaning
he
towards like,
raped.
oh, he for sure did. So
I agree. I agree on both
but
of
it
those things.
confused me because
That's-
I knew the movie
I
was
think that was
trying
the point.
I knew the movie. No, I don't think so. I think the movie was trying to tell you like, oh, she kind of wanted it, like she wanted it, like you were saying. That's what you
I
said.
think it just made it like
But
it
it
was
didn't.
definitely more towards he raped her when they showed Adam Driver's scene. I was definitely more towards he probably did, but it wasn't enough, and it did little things to confuse you, and I think that's what it was trying to do. And then when it goes to her perspective, you start to see all the issues that that she's having with her husband, right? How he's kind of a dick. He treats her like property, ignores her. So then it gets in your head more leading up to that scene. It's like you don't know what the hell is gonna happen, right? So to me, it worked. To me, it was perfectly executed.
But even you said the Adam Driver scene was, oh, she enjoyed it, and then we don't know what's gonna happen in her scene. I'm not saying
no.
I'm not saying like it was consensual on Adam Driver's scene. You said that, and then the third
No,
act
I
was
was
like,
leaning-
oh, I don't know where it's gonna. I don't know if.
I was leaning more towards he raped her when I saw Adam's driver scene. But I wouldn't have been surprised if they showed her perspective and then they showed her like enjoying it, that it was consensual. Like I wasn't sure. Like going into it, I was kind of like, it's kind of a toss up. I'm leaning more towards it's probably gonna be a rape. And then especially when they started showing all the issues that she's having with her husband, threw me off for sure. And I think that was the point. I think that's what they're trying to do. Because did you know for sure going into her perspective that it was gonna be a rape?
Well,
I assume
I
so. I didn't ever consider.
No one
that
ever
it
knows
was-
for sure because the movie can do weird things and they try to trick you and they
Yeah.
take they might take twists just to make a movie, you know. But I'm glad they didn't go that direction because more than likely he did, especially given the time.
Well, yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
like
I mean,
if they would have gone the other
yeah,
direction,
forget about what actually
whoa,
happened.
that would have, I don't know, that would have been like a 1 in a billion
Yeah,
situations back then. Like
yeah.
it had to have happened.
Yeah.
Like it had to have happened. There's no way.
I mean, I would forget about what actually happened and just focus on what the story told us, right?
No.
Because it's
No, I mean I'm not talking about like what actually happened. I'm talking about like given that time, what would actually happen. Like that would be the case. Like
Mm.
and I'm not saying like it never happened in the history of the world. Like maybe someone did, but especially back then, like 1 in a billion. Like more like to make a movie about 1 in a billion is kind of irresponsible at that point, I would say. It paints a picture that is not reality, I guess. It's not reality. So why better paint the picture that 99.999 given, especially given the time.
I think they have a lot.
Especially given the time.
These are based on actual people. I'm sure she has her recollections of what happened. They all have their recollections of what happened, and it's all recorded in history. So I'm sure that's what they went off of. And
well,
I mean the main thing is that she sacrificed, she risked everything, right, to claim rape. Like why would she do that if it wasn't rape? So that to me, like leading up to it, I was thinking like, okay, like why would she just like throw out that it was raped if it was consensual? Like she's sacrificing everything. She's sacrificing her own life. Like she's sacrificing her like she's gonna be killed. So I think that alone kind of carries it to
Okay, I'm done. Gus.
All right.
Oh yeah, let's go to your likes and dislikes.
I mean, my a lot of my stuff is gonna be the same as you guys.
For sure.
I like the 3 perspectives. I like.
You did like perspectives or 3 separate stories?
I like the 3 perspectives.
Got it.
I don't like how long each one felt. I like the direction overall. I think it was a really well-directed movie in general. The acting was really good from like everyone. Adam Driver. It's kind of weird because like I don't know if you guys have heard like the story about Adam Driver, like how he was like a Navy SEAL or a Marine or something like that.
Was he?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
but-
didn't do acting until after that. Like he never even
Mhm.
started, and now he's
the
like one
kid's
of the
talented, bro.
I know,
Yeah.
bro.
yeah. So to go from that and then to like be
Well,
one of the I feel like top actors right now.
Yeah, he's
It's
on the rise.
He's
pretty,
one of
uh,
my favorite actors right now.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite actors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, good job to everyone. As far as my dislikes, I mean, same things as you guys. It gets too dark for me. The
Got really dark.
two rape scenes made me really uncomfortable. Like I didn't like want to see that a second time. Like after the first one, I was like, yeah, this is it. Like I don't need any more proof. And yeah, it's just I don't know. Like I didn't see the trailer for the movie, so I had no idea what was gonna happen
Oh, nice.
or what the story was about. So I don't know if like the trailer tried to make it more like a mystery as to what was gonna happen. But after like
I
she
think
confessed
so.
it in Matt Damon's, and then after what happened in Adam Driver's section, I was like, okay, this is it. Like I don't really need more proof that she was. I like that they tried to do the whole like one side, the other side, and then the truth. Like that's like the whole saying, right? So I did appreciate that. But it did get too much for me. Like it didn't feel like it was ever like up in the air for me. Like as soon as it happened, like I just did not feel like it wasn't, So that's basically it for me. Yeah,
Cool.
Let's rate it.
go for it.
Oh, I don't have. Well, did you guys pick a number?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't. Let me go first. I always forget this.
Wow. Did you pick one for Dune?
No, but shut up. I'm thinking. Okay, I'm gonna give it a. I did like this movie though. I don't know, but I'm gonna give it a 7.75.
Wow.
No, 8. I'm giving it 8. That's well.
Alex.
I'm giving this one a 9. I think it's one of the better movies we've seen all year. I don't know. I'm trying to remember other movies that I've gave 9 or above 9, but this was a solid movie. I enjoyed it a lot.
I'm the lowest for sure. I got a 7 on this one.
7.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I just, like I said, like it just got too much for me, like in the third act, and I was like, I don't want to see like all this. Like
That's the point, bro. That was the point. I think it was supposed to be really dark. It was
Yeah,
supposed to show us 1300s London.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know if that's the point.
I don't.
bro.
I didn't really want. I mean, I guess I didn't really want.
I don't
to
think
see
that was the
type
point.
of
Yeah.
movie.
They could
think
have done
that was
movie
the
without
point.
showing it twice, bro. I don't know what you're talking
Yeah.
No,
about.
I think it was definitely necessary. I disagree with both you guys on that one for sure about showing it twice. I think they had to. They wouldn't have been the same movie. It wouldn't have been the same movie.
I guess.
No, because if they would have showed the second, because the second one was more intense and
Mhm.
more violent.
Yeah.
That second one alone would already give the feeling of the film already, like the darkness, the brutality of it, the scene, right? So
Mhm.
just so if I'm saying they should have just showed the second one, which is the worst of the two, obviously, and the first one, again, I think they should have just like closed the door and like not shown us what happened, like, and then now it's still he says she says because it was not ambiguous enough.
Yeah.
I don't know,
They-
man.
they-
I thought it was pretty
I felt
ambiguous
like
for me, man.
no, I felt like I saw the same scene twice. I really felt like I saw the
I
same scene
didn't,
twice.
yeah.
It didn't
With
They
feel-
changed a lot.
with super small little details
They
that
changed a lot.
don't really change what happened.
I disagree. I think the director knew those little
It-
details was gonna kind of throw everybody for a loop. It
It
threw me for a
didn't throw
loop.
me and Gus off.
It
Yeah,
threw me
it's-
off. You said that
2 out of 3?
you weren't sure when going into the last scene that if they were
No,
gonna go the other way.
because it's a movie. I wasn't sure like they might just throw a curveball. But if I had to say, I would definitely lean way more towards it, one direction.
Yeah. All right, Dune.
Let's talk about Dune.
Let's talk about Dune. This is
You go
probably.
first.
So I saw this in IMAX. Oh, I didn't put one of the things that I hated about the movie. in
Ooh,
here.
put it in there. Yeah.
I'll add it on at the end.
Go.
So this had to be one of like the most beautiful movies I've ever seen in theaters. I really think like if you're gonna watch this movie,
Likes now.
yeah.
Okay.
If you're gonna watch this movie, I highly recommend you see it in theaters, and if possible, see it in IMAX because it looked really really good.
People are not gonna listen to that, bro. The more and more I talk to people, like,
Yeah.
oh, HBO Max,
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
Shut
Yeah,
the
it's-
front door.
it's so
Get out of
dumb.
my face. Herbie.
Yeah, I heard him saying that yesterday. I was like, oh
Dude.
my god. I really liked Oscar Isaac's character. He's cool. The leader of House Atreides.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just like him as an actor too. Like he's one of like I feel like my
Yeah, for
favorite
sure.
actors too, and he did a really good job. Like he really sold like even though it's like it was in the trailer, like that line where he's like telling his Timothy Chalamet or whatever, like, oh yeah, like even if you don't think you're fit to be king, you're everything I ever needed you to be. Like I feel like just like the delivery like in that line and like all of his lines was really good. And then deep sci-fi. I love deep sci-fi stuff. I mean, obviously Star Wars is one of my favorite properties, and apparently Dune is like a really big influence on Star Wars. So,
Dune is
Interesting.
Oh, Dune influenced the making of Star Wars?
yeah,
Dune came out before Star Wars?
yeah,
Well, Dune
The
was
book.
books,
The
right?
book.
Yeah,
books,
it's
yeah.
novels.
Oh,
Yeah.
got it. That's an
Um,
old movie.
yeah,
But
yeah.
that didn't come out before Star Wars, did it?
Don't think so. No.
Okay.
But yeah. So yeah, sci-fi stuff, dope. Liked it a lot. Okay. Dislikes.
Oh, you're just like how many, I don't remember your likes. What were your 3 likes?
It was really beautiful. Oscar Isaac, and then deep sci-fi.
Oh, you're ready for your dislikes, bro. Damn.
I hated the ending. I think that was like the movie in general just felt like I was watching like half a movie. Like even though it was 3 hours long, it just ended, and it didn't feel like a climax. It didn't feel like yeah, there was that like fight scene like right before where Timothy Chalamet defeats one of the I forget the names because there's so many fucking
Dude,
different
yes.
names and stuff.
I wanted to take notes halfway
Um,
through.
And that's also
Sand
one
people.
of my that's one of my dislikes actually, but I'll go into that in a little bit. But yeah, like he beats him and he becomes one of the tribe, which we obviously know is gonna happen based off of his visions.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, yeah, I mean like it seemed as though that was gonna be the case.
Yeah, I felt like
I don't know, maybe
kinda
that was
felt
just me.
I
but-
felt that too, just knowing like movies and stuff in general, like kind of like Avatar.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be like Avatar, but I thought that was gonna like happen like halfway through the movie or way
Yeah,
before
not
that,
the end. Yeah.
and then okay, the rest of the movie would happen.
Right.
but-
Yeah, so it just felt like okay, like now what? Like I just wanted to see more because like they keep teasing all these things that are going to happen throughout the movie. And like for example, we saw Zendaya for like 30 seconds at the end of the movie and she like had like 2 lines and
Yeah.
she's like in all these visions and we're like wait.
You know, even worse, she's in all these trailers.
Yeah, she's in all the trailers. Like
Just-
she like almost is like the main character in like the trailers like half the times, and you're like, okay, you expect to see her a lot throughout the movie,
No.
and she's just in these like weird like turning to the camera flashbacks and like doing nothing,
Flash forwards.
and or well yeah, flash forwards,
Yeah.
and then she has like 2 lines at the end, and then that's it. Like that's
just the
all for her.
beginning.
Yeah, and it feels like the movie's just about to start, and then it ends.
Flash forward. Good one.
Yeah. So then my next dislike was I feel like this movie was really catered to people that were like
The book.
knowledgeable of the books or the last movie or the TV series whenever that was a thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Like it just felt like there's so much like information like being presented, but like if you don't know any of it, you're just like kind of like okay, like
Well, yeah, one of those things that you're talking about is like the sandwalk. The sandwalk. I was thinking like, dude, that must be from the book because I don't give a shit about the sandwalk.
Yeah.
And they had they didn't even
they mentioned it very briefly.
like he learned
during
it in the
projector.
thing and then he did it like they did it. He did it with his mom. Like, but I didn't get anything from it. Like
Yeah.
that could have not been in there.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have done
Yeah.
anything.
You
It just
wouldn't
felt like
know.
an Easter egg from like the book from a book or something.
Yeah,
So.
and then like I was mentioning earlier, like there's so many different like houses and tribes and stuff like that. Like Game of Thrones, it works because there's like clear identifiers for like these different houses and stuff like that. Like the bald people, I don't remember what Harkonnens, I think something like that. Like the bad guys that were on what was the fucking planet called? Something with an A.
It's too many names.
Yeah, so
Arc something. Or
Well, you're saying you're talking about Game of Thrones?
yeah, so like I'm trying to make the comparison. Like Game of Thrones, like you know where you are based off of like the way the weather's presented, the banners and stuff
No,
like
well,
that. There's like clear identifiers.
I disagree with that one. I think Game of Thrones is not that there's clear identifiers. I think there's like 8 seasons
Well,
worth
well,
of
well, yeah.
because at first I was just like this in Dune, right? Like I was super confused in Game of Thrones. I don't know how if you guys remember, but I remember watching the first,
Yeah.
maybe even even up to the second season. I was like, wait, who are the Targaryens again?
Yeah.
Like,
Who's the king of the north? Like,
I
what's
was
the
like,
north?
okay, it was the same thing,
I
but
guess maybe it's just
but
me
this was
having
2
like revisionist like
this was
history
2 hours
type
to
thing.
to
But yeah, it definitely felt that way to me, where like it could have like used a more like you treat your audience almost like they're dumb, basically, you know?
if any,
Like there's too much information being presented, and you're making me not care about this information because of the way you're presenting it.
I think Dune actually had better identifiers than Game of Thrones actually, because the bad guys, they look pale and they had like this black armor.
Yeah, they
the-
were fine,
the
but the
the
other
sand people looked way different.
But the guys that like came in at the end, like in the white suits, like I don't even remember the names of them either, but they were helping the dudes in the black suits, and I couldn't tell them apart from.
They never showed the Emperor, right?
No,
They didn't show the Emperor. The big fat dude, he was just like the
He's
leader of
the black suit ones.
yeah
Yeah, so I don't know, man. It just felt like I was watching the movie, and then there was a couple next to me, and they were cheering for like almost everything. And I was like, am I supposed to care about this? Like they were cheering about like the ship designs, like the sandwalk, like all these like little things like that no one in the like whole theater was like making a noise about. And
yeah.
I was like, okay, like I feel like I'm supposed to be hyped about this, but like I don't know why. Like I completely didn't know. And like the part
like Star Wars.
I guess
when they showed them in the fucking
it felt like that
for
like,
them
almost and like there was like this moment where the doctor like the ecologist the one
the Asian doctor
no the black woman that
okay
like she pulls out like the little like things to like the hooks you remember like
no.
And then she gets stabbed in the back.
Okay.
Well, like right when she pulled out the hooks, they started cheering like crazy. I was like, "What? What is she doing?" Like she's just standing there, and then she gets stabbed. But then, like later on in the movie, like towards the end, they show like a really small clip of like the guy riding one of the sandworms with those hooks, and that's why they were cheering. I was like, "Oh, okay, that's why." Like, sure, you know. And it's just like ridiculous because like I don't know. Like, I just didn't really know what to expect with all this, and I guess that's maybe my fault, but I don't know. It feels like it didn't do a good job as a movie to present the information in a way for me to care about it. And then also, like, it just felt kind of weird, like how whitewashed almost it felt. Like all the like other like people like had these like really like crazy abstract names. And then the main character's name is Paul. And then there's a guy that's Duncan, Idaho. like he's like super like
it is from
white
a book.
and American. Yeah, I know. It felt weird. Like
Duncan, Idaho.
I bet.
I
yeah, that's Jason Momoa's character.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Duncan, Idaho.
Yeah, and
I
it's
didn't
just like,
catch that.
what? That's like a real name in this? Like, I don't know. It just felt really weird. And then like, I don't know, like the one like storyline, it felt like an easy way to
get like 10 dislikes, Gus.
No, I know, but I don't know. I'm sorry. It just felt like it like was like a way to try to make like a normal audience care about the movie, because I don't know if that's actually like the way like the books are being told, like where
I bet it is, because it is an old book, probably. No.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like it didn't like. It came off like very slightly. Like it didn't feel
like Avatar.
Yeah, it didn't feel as like impactful. I guess. And then also this is just, I don't know if you saw it in theaters. Did you?
I did not.
Wow, what a bitch.
Wait, what?
Full disclosure, saw it on HBO Max.
Oh, we were just saying right now.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I was gonna wait till I went through my list and I was gonna tell you this.
But yeah,
oh my
IMAX, the movie was too loud at some points. Like
Gus,
it legitimately
that's 6
hurt my ears.
dislikes
But
now.
yeah, that's it.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
Let's go, Sal.
We have 3. 3.
Run through your list,
Okay.
Sal.
All right, fine. That's true though. Okay, likes. Gus already said all the likes, not dislikes
Yeah.
that you can think of. Okay, likes. The visuals / imagery. yes, it was cool. There was a lot of scenes that were like beautiful, like Gus was saying. Check. I'm not gonna say anymore. That's what he said.
Okay.
Number 2. Gus didn't mention this. Yay. Um, I mean, I've never read the books. I don't know anything about this movie, and I saw the trailers, and I never got anything about the boy and the mom having like these gifts. So I like that was different to me. That was the coolest part.
The
of the movie,
voice,
probably. Yeah, they can
which
control.
sounded like
They're
the
like
Force.
Jedi's, you know.
Yeah.
So that was one of my favorite parts of the sci-fi-ish elements of this movie, that they have these gifts, and that he's I guess the one, because he's part of that bloodline, like because the old ladies were saying like
Yeah, they're trying to like breed someone
like
that's gonna be like all powerful, basically.
And they only
And,
breed
like,
women, but they bred this.
Yeah,
like,
he's like the only.
that'll know
male.
like all past and all present and
Yeah.
future, and like what, like okay, that
Hmm.
seems cool. Third thing I like was, and it kind of just like too, because there's a lot there, but that it created like this whole new like world, right? Like there's a lot of movies do this, like Lord of the Rings or Star Wars.
Yeah.
I mean, this one, it was a lot more, and it was a book, obviously, so they try to cram in like a lot in there, and it was a long movie, but I enjoyed that they at least made the effort of creating this whole new world, and the visuals, obviously, beautiful imagery helped paint a picture also. Dislikes. And this kind of has to do with like the noisiness of the film, and is also with the imagery of the film, but and the length of the film.
Wow.
And
yeah, they're all kind of interconnected.
That's three right there. You're
Yeah,
done.
and they're all kind of interconnected. It's because what I'm gonna say, it's that a lot of the scenes felt stretched to me. Like it could be a scene of like someone drinking water, and it's just like he puts his hand out, and it's like beautiful imagery of his hand, and then like the water flowing along, and then like, and then just like, oh my
Yeah.
god, like half the movie is that, like just like beautiful imagery, but pointless beautiful imagery at times. That's
I
like
get that.
there was like no point to so many scenes. I'm just like, and it's so loud. And Alex didn't watch it in IMAX, so he doesn't understand that part. But it was crazy, stupid loud. It felt like Tenet loud in some scenes, because Tenet was the same way.
I still
and
haven't seen
And I
Tenet.
had that problem with it in theaters. Oh, you still haven't seen Tenet?
No.
You're crazy. So
Wow.
the stretch things, man. I was just,
Yeah.
it was too much. Like I'm cool with like 1 or 2, 3 scenes like that. Zack Snyder does that too. Zack Snyder like will stretch some scenes,
But
like
he's
in like
not
in
a
Justice
good
League
director,
when
though.
Yeah.
when Just Mo with the water.
Yeah.
If anything, I like Zack Snyder scenes more sometimes.
Yeah.
I think.
Or like Watchmen. He does that on Watchmen too.
Yeah, but I don't know. He just did it a lot here. Like Gus has said, the other thing I did, don't look at my notes, bro. Horrible ending. It was horrible. It was just, that was not an ending. That was like, I knew too that was gonna be the ending too, because when he started fighting him, it was like, it's gonna end like 10 minutes after he beat this guy. I'm just like, no way.
Yeah.
Like, and I knew it was a book, and I know a lot of books and like that, like on the.
But that's not even how the book ends.
It's not.
No.
No, what really?
Okay.
Yeah.
but again, I don't know why they went that direction. Like, there's other stories that are multiple parts that don't end like that. Like Hunger Games, the first one was a very satisfying. Like it was an ending. It felt like an ending. Like you didn't. It could have been its own thing, and that's it. Like technically, like this, no, it can't be its own thing. It's impossible for this to be
Yeah.
the end of a story.
Yeah.
Like to me, it should be like 3 different, especially movies. Books are made.
Just the beginning.
Nah, books. If there's different books, they should end also, because they're different book, right?
Mhm.
So it should have an ending. It didn't have an ending, but Gus says it wasn't the real ending. I don't know if
Yeah.
so. What's supposed to happen in the ending?
Well, I don't know what actually happens at the end of the book, but from what I understand, this is so they're making multiple parts of one book. That's what like each movie is supposed to be one book.
Wow.
And how many books is there?
I think there's 2 or 3 books.
So
Well,
technically, it would be
I
like.
don't know if they're gonna go the whole 6 film route, but
So yes, that's what you're telling me, right? 6 films.
I don't know if they're going to actually do it. I don't know if they've confirmed that they want to do both books or if they just want to
It
do
depends
one.
how much money it makes,
I'm
right?
sure, yeah. But yeah, so that's the
No,
thing.
but
Like with
he-
me too. Like it's weird because like every book that we've ever gotten turned into a movie is always done after the first movie. You know, like they're only really split up like the last book of the series. So it just felt weird. You know, like
They could have booked.
But I
Yeah.
guess that is it a big book? Like I maybe
I don't know.
because if that was, I mean, again, not a lot happened.
Yeah,
again,
nothing
because
happened
because
really.
so many scenes were stretched out. Like I said, like the water grab. I'm making that
For the imagery, man. It's
yeah,
for
the imagery. It's just like not that much stuff happened. Like
Yeah.
they went to a planet that has spice, and they got betrayed, and then that's it.
And Spice-
And then they're running away.
And they ran away.
And they're running away.
Like those are the three things that happened.
And Spice was supposed to be really important,
Yeah.
but we don't really know why. It's
yeah,
so
they didn't
important.
really use it either. They didn't really like
It
do
was
anything with
so stretched out.
Yeah.
I can explain that they use it for
For interstellar travel.
Yeah,
No, they didn't
travel.
explain why they need it. Okay, no,
All
last
right.
thing I hate.
Oh, you're not done. You're banging on Gus.
No Zendaya. No, but
No Zendaya.
I don't have more things. I'm
Okay,
just
go, go.
I'm elaborating my things.
Go,
Gus
go.
mentioned 5 different things. No Zendaya. Every time I used to tell would ask people, oh, you gonna watch Dune? You gonna watch Dune? They'd be like, oh, the one with Zendaya. I'm like, no. Well, this was before I saw the movie. I would have said like
Yeah.
no, like yeah, she comes out in it, but I mean,
Barely.
I mean Oscar Isaac's in it, Timothy Chalamet's in it, Aquaman. Like I've seen the trailer. Like there's so many other people. I don't know why that people always go to Zendaya. I guess she's popular, sure.
I heard somebody
But
talk
there
about
must
it
be
at
super.
work.
If someone's gonna watch it just for Zendaya, I'm sorry.
I feel bad for them.
I
Yeah.
heard somebody talk about it at work, and they mentioned that, but I didn't hear.
Mention what?
They mentioned, and that person doesn't even come out in the whole movie, and I didn't really catch what it was because I was trying to avoid it. But yeah, they were pissed, and it was Zendaya. I'm pretty sure it was Zendaya. They were pissed that didn't come out to the very end. Like they went to go watch it because she's in
Well,
it.
I didn't watch it for Zendaya, to be
Yeah, I
fair.
did.
And
Some people will, though.
I
There will
don't
be people.
dislike like that she wasn't in it more. I just don't dislike that I feel lied
You
to.
got robbed.
Lied to, not robbed. Because
Yeah, it's
robbed
just
is like I
weird
wanted it. I
marketing.
didn't
Yeah.
want it, but
Yeah.
I feel lied to. Like, why'd you do that, bro?
All right, let me go through mine. Let me go through my list, guys. It's very, very similar to your guys. Especially my dislikes.
Let's just not do
And
yours then.
Actually, both mine. This is the at-home review, HBO Max review, by the way.
my
Let
god!
me
Did you at
just
least
start-
watch it in 4K?
So I got my nice 4K
Okay.
TV. Like I was chilling, I was eating,
Still-
It's not the
still
same
disappointing
thing.
in you.
comfortable.
If the theaters go out
Well-
of business, you're gonna be part of the reason.
Well, I did have a similar issue with I couldn't hear because it was really loud, so I had to put subtitles on. So I saw some of it with subtitles.
Saw a movie with subtitles. Son of a bitch.
Because Leslie couldn't understand it, I couldn't hear. And I'm like, what the fuck are they saying? And they're like, oh, put the subtitles on. So that,
Wait, what did they do with like all the weird languages and stuff? Did they like do anything or not?
They put subtitles. They had
Yeah.
subtitles on there.
Did
Yeah.
they translate it or was it just like weird? Like,
I would
Yeah.
assume.
They
He
translated.
doesn't remember, Gus. Okay.
Yeah.
I do
just go.
remember.
Just
Okay,
go.
Whatever. Okay,
He doesn't
so my
remember,
likes.
bro.
Yeah, I
don't know what you're
I like the big scenes. I like that it was like you guys said, it was beautiful. 2 scenes that come to mind was the poison scene when he poisons the
Oscar
villain.
Isaac?
Yeah, that was a pretty badass scene. And then Jason Momoa scene where he dies. That was awesome.
What?
I just like the fighting scene. But you know what I didn't like though?
wasn't even that close
I
to
didn't
me.
like the fighting. I didn't like the fighting in general. Yeah.
So then I'm confused
I
what
like
you
that
like.
scene. I like that scene.
And I
But
knew
most
he
of
was
the
gonna
fighting
die.
was just kind of
I
dumb
knew he was gonna die.
because he said he was gonna die.
No, 'cause in the trailer.
Oh, I
Actually,
didn't watch.
like-
That was in the
I don't watch that
trailer.
many trailers.
He's like,
bro.
he didn't die in the trailer. He was like no, and then the gate closes, and then that's it. Or they show it in
Yeah.
the trailer.
Yeah, I
I'm
didn't
like,
watch that.
He's
I don't-
gonna die.
You guys are
first.
fools for watching too many trailers. You guys should stop watching that many.
I
trailers.
see one. I remember trailers. You just have a bad memory.
I'll skim
That's
through a
not my
trailer like on Instagram. I, see
I
a trailer,
can't
like, all
skim
right.
through
I
a
skim
trailer.
it.
Like I'll get annoyed if I
that
do.
doesn't make. Why would you skim through a trailer?
Like on Instagram, like if they start showing you a little bit of it, all right, like I'm good. Like I don't really. It's just that it kills too much. It killed. You guys knew he was gonna die. That sucks. I wouldn't want to know that.
I mean, it didn't.
I
don't feel like I lost
I
anything.
feel like you saw the same scene. I'm just smarter than you to know that he died.
No, you just saw a trailer that showed you that he was gonna die.
They didn't
They
show.
Okay,
explicitly
so
show
they
he
didn't show him
died,
dying.
but yeah.
They didn't show him
Momoa and
That's
the
what I had a
villain
feeling.
were. I really like the villain. I really like Jason Momoa's character. I thought he was like a badass. I wish they would have kept him through the whole fucking series, but it sucks that he had to die. He remember like a Han Solo type of character. You know, he was cool. He was slick. He was a badass. And then the villain was really cool. I don't know what's up with the levitating kind of shit.
Something on
And he
his
was
spine.
and was able to what?
That thing that he has on his spine.
Yeah, what
allows
was
him
that?
To float.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. I guess so. You see, like I don't. What the fuck am I supposed to know
Is
this?
he tall or he just has a long
he
rope?
That's
just
what I
floats,
thought.
and it's a really long rope.
I thought he was tall at first. I was like, oh, cool. He gets up and he's all tall. No, he's floating. He's floating. Remember when he's on the ceiling after the poison?
Yeah.
He can float.
But like the first time when he's like standing,
yeah,
up,
it looks like
I
he's
thought he
standing
was
there,
stretching his legs or something.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Nah,
That's
yeah,
what I
it's
thought. That's what I
floating.
hoped it was. And then I like the whole houses and the emperor. Like this is Game of Thrones in space. Essentially, what it was
Yeah.
like kings and queens, but in space. Let's go through my dislikes. It was too slow, man. It was too slow. Yeah, with the imagery and the fucking nothing happened and the flash forwards and the advice in the background. And
Okay, something else.
it's
Yeah,
like, what is going on?
They
Like,
had that-
run through the story, please.
they had that flash forward like 8 times.
Yeah, it's like 20 fucking flash
Like
forwards.
they showed Zendaya, like he had a dream about Zendaya like 8
Yeah,
different times.
yeah.
Like, bro, just show one
About
time.
Her,
Yeah.
like stabbing him, right?
Yeah, it was just too
The
much.
blood on the
too much
hand.
flash
They
forward.
showed it
But
twice.
I-
Like
but I
the
get
first
it.
time and the second time stabbing.
But
him,
that's
it.
supposed to be his thing, right? He's supposed to be able to see the future. He's supposed to be able to.
But I
bridge
feel like they were
space
the
and time or
same
whatever.
scene that he would kept seeing. Like if they were different scenes, okay,
Yeah.
maybe. But
Mhm.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
It was
and,
really
and
slow.
then and even those scenes were dragging. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
it's
with
like
the
that.
music and the
It's
drum.
like,
Yeah.
You know what? The more I'm talking about it, the more
I didn't. Yeah, full disclosure, I did not like this movie. I did not. I gave this a rating, and Leslie thought it was too nice. She hated this movie. Leslie just was
Oh.
like, "What is this movie?"
She didn't hate it more than Lily.
Oh, did you? Yeah, really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Especially because it was in theaters, it was even louder.
That's
than
funny.
You can even imagine.
Leslie would have hated it if we went to theaters for sure. She would have got pissed if we went to theaters and watched it. That's what she told me. The ending. What the fuck, man? What the hell, man? Even that last scene when he fights and he kills the guy, it was a terrible scene. I did not like the fighting. Like it was weird. Like at one point, like it was silent. Like there was no music and it was just them fighting. And it was like the choreography was weird, bro.
Wow, that's crazy.
Hurry up.
Yeah. So the ending, is just like you guys mentioned, and then I did not like that it was so similar to other sci-fi movies. I'm getting tired of like the sci-fi space, this
What are them?
Jedi Force, Star Trek, spaceships, and like it was just like I've seen this movie before.
I
It was
just
just
kind
kinda-
that one. I think
yeah.
it was way different. Which part was the same? That it
With
was
the
in
Force, like she was using the Force. I thought when they said like,
this
oh,
book came out before Star Wars.
I understand that. I get it now. I didn't know that before though. You guys are telling me that it came out before Star Wars. I didn't know that going into this movie. I didn't read any of the
It
books.
wasn't the
I didn't
Force,
watch the show. Just like Gus was saying earlier, like I didn't like. I'm watching this movie, and I was very confused half the movie. I didn't know what was going on. Like I didn't know why they went there, and then the other guys attacked. Like, okay, was this the Emperor? Like, oh, this lady is like second hand to the Emperor, so she told them to go, and so it was like a trap. Like it's just like it's too much, bro.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
too much.
confused why they got betrayed also.
It was a little confusing, right? It
Something
was
about he was gonna be too powerful or something.
Yeah, they
or
were getting too powerful. Like
getting too
said.
powerful.
who, the House of
Atreides.
A or whatever. Really? Oh, okay. So they send him there to die, just like
Yeah.
you said.
Send it to there. Yeah. to
Oh,
there.
okay.
They set him up.
They pulled out House of H, and then they brought in House of A, and then they brought back House of H.
Yeah.
Right.
basically.
Cool.
But isn't House of H stronger than Atreides?
I know.
I don't know.
They
Okay.
fucked up. They fucked them up pretty easily. So I guess. But then they also knew that they were gonna like go down with like House of
Maybe
H, because he was telling them like, oh, these people are brutal. Like when they were training,
Yeah.
in the beginning, like so they kind of knew that there was gonna be a battle going down,
They just didn't know when.
but
They-
they
Yeah.
they went there anyways. So it's just like,
Yeah, they had to go because otherwise the Emperor would have just killed them.
Yeah.
And I wish they would have showed the Emperor a little bit. I don't know.
Mhm.
Like you kept saying the Emperor. Like,
yeah.
wait, is this chubby guy the Emperor?
Yeah.
I don't think he is.
All right, let's rate this one. I'll go first.
No, because I haven't written mine down.
Wow. Okay, go.
6.
I give this a 7.5.
I give it a 6 as well. I give it a 6.
Honestly, like even though it felt like half of a movie, like I still was like interested in where it was going. I just wish that it felt like a whole movie.
Yeah.
It's weird because
It's
I'm
weird.
excited for the
Yeah,
second
I
one.
was gonna say that.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the next one.
Yeah.
Like I don't like this movie this much. I'm excited for the next one, but at the same time, I'm so afraid that if it's the exact same
Yeah.
thing, I'm gonna be so disappointed.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the same thing. Like, why did I But I'm
Yeah.
still gonna put myself through it though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my fear too. And like I feel like it's so far removed from coming out at this point too that it's
If it comes out.
Yeah, if it even comes out. It's
'Cause
just
people saw it on HBO Max, so it took where it drained from the box office.
apparently they want more sales on HBO Max. And
they want.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure they want more. That's why they're
Yeah.
doing it. Well,
just
so
from-
the people in charge of Warner Media,
Yeah.
they're recently got bought out or something like that. They're
yeah,
not gonna be
they're
in charge
merging
anymore.
with some other company.
Discovery or
Yeah, Discovery. I
Discovery,
think.
yeah.
They're not gonna be on
But
HBO
they're
Max?
gonna be in charge now. They're not. This is like their last.
Film on HBO
no,
Max.
no. The decision making of putting stuff on HBO Max, the people in charge are not gonna be the same people who made that
Oh.
decision.
Got it.
So I don't think they're
Got
gonna
it.
be.
That sucks.
Why? Which
Because
part?
there's a lot of good movies that were coming on HBO Max that we have to go to theaters for, and we can just watch it. Like Suicide Squad was one of them.
There's a lot of
Wonder Woman.
filmmakers,
Imagine we
artists,
spent- imagine we
actors,
wasted money
directors.
on
There's a lot of filmmakers, artists, actors, directors
Yeah,
That don't
that
like-
believe in the theatrical experience.
I believe in
HBO,
theatrical
no,
experience.
if you believe in HBO Max, then you don't. If you believe in putting them on HBO Max, that's complete opposite.
I
of
want
that.
what's best for me. No, I
Okay,
don't care about. I want the product, right? I'm the consumer, so I want the option of both.
No. But if HBO Max works too much,
they're just gonna
theaters are not
Yes.
going to exist, and,
That is
and
a-
then you're not going to have both.
that is a fear.
So then what?
That is a fear. You're right.
So I rather have no HBO Max. No, don't. And I'm not saying it's still going to be on HBO Max, but they should have
later.
it like it always was before. Like have a 40 and it's 45 days or a 45-day window where you can't until after it comes out of theaters. Why not just do that, or just shorten the window, make it 30 days. It has
Yeah.
to be in theaters,
So
and then
you can
put
watch
HBO
in
Max.
theaters. Yeah, I suppose so.
Okay,
All
we're
right.
done. Wait,
Ratings done. What do we want to do next week?
What's coming out next
Oh
week?
no, it turns two. It's 2 weeks or next
2
week?
weeks? Yeah.
Okay, so
Last Night in Soho.
which one?
Last Night in Soho.
What is that?
Who's that?
The dude that made Baby Driver,
Oh,
Edgar Wright.
Oh really?
The new
Fuck yeah,
movie
I'm down.
from him.
And Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah.
I'm down. What is it
it's-
about? I don't even care.
It's like kind of like a weird.
Don't tell me.
Oh, okay.
I'm just kidding.
I don't care what it's about. Last Night in Soho. Let's
Wait, in
do
theaters?
it. You sold me with
Yeah, it's in
Baby
theaters
Driver.
only.
Sure.
Yeah. So we'll do that, and then
And then Squid Game.
Sure.
Sure.
Let's review Squid Game.
Peace.
next.
Later,
Bye.
you guys.